Welcome to Mr. UFC Vegas Fight Club TV. I am Kyle, your host. Welcome to the podcast, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. We talk about UFC, gambling content in general to win you guys some money. So, stay tuned to videos that we do about predictions, we do picks, we do best bet picks, we do all kinds of breakdowns of the UFC, so please get involved in this channel, Mr. UFC Vegas Fight Club TV. And today what we are going to be talking about is probably one of the most important things you could talk about when it comes to gambling. A lot of people think it's just about gotta get the winner, gotta get the winner. This is a close second into just as important as picking a winner, and that is bankroll management. And I'm going to give you 7 must-know rules about bankroll management. Now, when we break this down, some things may seem obvious, some things maybe not seem obvious, but a lot of people don't realize how important each one of these steps are. So the first step in bankroll management is you need to have your financial obligations and money separated from your actual gambling money. Meaning, you don't want to be gambling the mortgage, you don't want to be gambling the bills, you don't want to be gambling your son's college fund. You want to be gambling money that is set aside, whether you've built it up on your own just by putting money aside if you're just starting out, or if you've won some money and you're putting it aside and keeping it there just for the gambling portion of it. And we're going to break down a lot of other steps to that, but that is the first step, that you need to have it separated from that money. You don't want to have the pressure or the stupidity of gambling money that is a necessity in the next 2 weeks. You don't want that to be happening. That is not the right thing to do, and that's just not fully understanding bankroll management if that's what you're doing. So that is the first step. Keep gambling money in one pile and money for obligations to bills, family, whatever it may be, in another pile. Keep them separated. And that rolls right into number 2. And number 2 is you need to have a bankroll that you can sustain losses. Now, any gambler will tell you, any professional gambler will tell you, anyone on the strip will tell you that you have to be able to sustain losses due to the fact that nobody wins every time. It doesn't happen. As much as we want to think we're going to win every time and we've got the right pick, people don't. That's just the way it is. You don't do it. If you're at the 65%, you're not doing too damn bad. You know, so you have to understand that losses are going to be part of this business. And if you can't, if you've put it, maybe if your bankroll is $500 and you're doing, $200 on a game or on a play, you're not going to be, you're really not giving yourself a chance to maximize your increase on wins. You're just basically just gambling and risking it all every time, and at that point, that is where the house always wins. The house always wins because you don't have a big enough bankroll to drop hundreds of dollars on a particular card or a particular event or a particular game. You need to be able to have enough where you're putting it in the right amount, bet, not a lot, but just enough, and we're going to get more into that as we continue to move on, but that is the first, step 2 is making sure that you can sustain the losses. Now, number 3 is don't ride the highs. Now, a lot of people, it's easy to, all right, when you lose, okay, I lose, okay. Now, when you win, how do you act? How do you get it? Are you now, okay, you've won $5 grand. Are you going to buy something? You're going to go buy clothes. You're going to go buy a nice new watch. You know what I mean? You're going to buy a nice new suit. You're going to look really great. You're going to feel great. But then you're still at the point when it comes around to that next play, you've spent the $5 grand, and now you're at the point of, okay, I'm back to my smaller plays because I spent my bankroll. You need to know that you need to keep the bankroll and build it. And again, we're going to dive more into it as we continue to go down, but you want to build the bankroll. You want to be able to, the more you have built in there, the better and more comfortable you'll be towards your plays. You're not going to be as nervous, or you're not going to be as, when you're betting, you're not going to realize, I have to hit this. I have to hit this game or my bankroll's gone. You should never be in that point, one. But if you continue to win games and you continue to have a nice run, know that you want to stick to your strategy, stick to your bet amount that you have already prior to all of that you have implemented and continue to drive forward in that. You don't want to be able to say, all right, now I've won $5,000. Now I'm gonna bet $3,000 on one game, and you've never done that in your life. That is the kind of things, again, that's not bankroll management. You want to manage your bankroll and keep it into the right lane so that you can maximize your profit. Now, number 4 is keep a running tally of all of your bets. And again, a lot of people don't do this. A lot of people don't do this. You just get a spreadsheet. You can break it down by sport. You can break it down by month. You can break. Some people just gamble one sport. Some people gamble 6 different sports. So depending on what you're doing, have it broken down. Have it broken down even to your parlay bets. How are you doing in your parlay bets? Are you winning? How are you doing on your season-long bets? Maybe you're betting, the Yankees to win the World Series this year, and you want to lay $500 on that. That should be another bankroll. So you should have all of your money laid out, and you're able to see exactly where you're winning, where you're losing. And the big part of that is, one, easier to manage your bankroll. That's the biggest thing. You're able to see real time. Are you up? Are you down? Where are you? Where have you been successful? Have you been successful at basketball? Have you been successful at UFC? Have you been successful at baseball? Where have you been? And then sometimes you may say, you know what, I've been pretty successful at football. And then you look and you kind of broke even, but baseball you've done great in the past. So it really gives you a clear picture of where you are in your gambling and where you are in your profit or your loss, your winning percentile. You really are able to take a look at everything as a whole, and that is going to be extremely important as you continue to try to build the bankroll and understand that there is a method to gambling and being professional about it. Now, number 5 is don't be greedy. Now, this is another one, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, I believe number 2. Don't be greedy. Now, say you are winning, and say you are starting to feel good. Don't increase your bets. You should have a particular bet amount, a particular unit amount that is set, and this is the amount that you are comfortable doing. And your unit may be very different to my unit, or my unit may be very different to somebody else's unit. Maybe more, maybe less. It all should be a particular percentage of your bankroll. And that you should stick with, and that should be your 1 unit. For some people who have a bankroll of $50,000, 1 unit may be, $1,000. Someone who has $1,000 as a bankroll, 1 unit may be $50. So it really depends on your bankroll size to what you're making that unit. And sometimes you could do a unit and a half, 2 units, but you should not be going out and gambling, a 50 unit play, 25 unit play back to back. The odds are stacked against you to be successful. That's why there's places like Las Vegas, and that's why sports gambling has become such a huge industry, because there are many people who just don't understand the basics of bankroll management and think, I just have to win, or I'm due. That's a big thing. Everyone, I'm due to win. No one's ever due to win. There's a point, you hope, hey man, I've lost 6 in a row, I'm probably due. Every bet doesn't increase your chances after you lose. It doesn't increase your opportunity to win because you've lost 6 in a row. You may just really suck at gambling. You may be really bad at handicapping a specific sport. So, don't be greedy. Stick to your bet amount. Stick to the amount that you're comfortable betting and continually moving forward with that amount. Now, number 6 we get into here is for new gamblers. And new people that say, hey, listen, I've got a bankroll, I've got $500, what do I do? All this is start small. Start small. Number 6 is start small if you're new to gambling, because you don't want to say, hey, I've got $500 as my bankroll, and I'm gonna do. It's Sunday, the Giants are on, and I'm a huge Giant fan. I'm gonna bet $300 on the Giants, and then I'm gonna do $100 on maybe Washington, given 7, and then. That will never work out for you if the only money you have allotted is $500. And people sometimes they hear, oh, well, I've got, I can bet it. I don't mind losing it. That's even worse of a reason. Not minding to lose it is not how you want to be profitable when it comes to gambling. That doesn't help you in any aspect at all. It does not help you. So start small. Some people want to say, hey, that's too small. What's $50? It's too small. It's not enough for me. But the point of it is that whether you're betting a lot, whether you're betting a little, you're still betting that particular game. And if you can't be successful when you're betting small, you're not going to be successful because you're betting a lot. So again, like I said before, the odds are stacked against you to be successful if all you are doing is betting a large amount every time. To your bankroll, a large amount every time does not help you. You will not win. It will not be profitable at all for you. Number 7, again, it's all kind of gelling together now here if you've been following along. Number 7, and again, one of the most important, discipline. Discipline is so important for many aspects of gambling when it comes to just trying to be profitable. Now, some people will, they're gambling on the weekend and, maybe they have a decent sized bankroll. Maybe they do. Maybe they've got a nice size. And they're gambling on the weekends and they're down 10 units, which no one should ever be down that much, but they really went for it on their bankroll. Now, it's maybe the Monday night game, or it's one of the primetime games on football, or it's the main event on a UFC card and you've been getting destroyed the entire card. Then somebody says, you know what, I'm gonna double or nothing. I'm gonna double or nothing here. I'm gonna either be even for the night or be down 2 times what I'm down right now. And that you never do. You never put yourself at risk that high. That's really putting yourself at such a high risk of you're just gambling there. You're not using your handicap skills or a sport that you feel great about, that you've been really doing well at, and now you're just either going to be in the hole an enormous amount or you're going to be even. That is just, and always handicap over gambling. Always handicap over gambling. Meaning that a gambler will just wing it. They'll fly by the seat of their pants. They will be shooting out, doing 10 plays on a weekend. Again, the odds are stacked against you. A handicapper will understand the process, will stick to their strategy, stick to their game plan, and know that, hey, I've had a bad day. That's okay. I'm going to find spots over the next couple weeks, whatever it may be, whatever sport it is, and work back to getting there. Even if you've gotten crushed on one day, know that, hey, I'm still a great handicapper at this particular sport. I'm going to find a way to get some wins. It's not fun losing. Everybody wants to win. That's part of this. But if you can't handle the ups and the downs of gambling, you shouldn't be gambling. And that's maybe the golden rule of all, that you really need to be disciplined when it comes to your sports betting and when you are making sure that you're betting the particular amount that you're comfortable with. So, there you have it. 7 must-know rules for bankroll management. This is Mr. UFC Vegas, Fight Club TV. If you have not subscribed, please do so. UFC, gambling, all in one. Do great content, news updates. Stay tuned for more. Mr. UFC Vegas, Fight Club TV.